Alright guys, welcome to another late night stream of mine. And yeah, it's pretty late. Around here it's 20 past midnight, but it's fine. So, welcome. And as you see, we are doing UBOAT again tonight. The game where you slip into the role of a German submarine commander in the Second World War. I love the game for its immersion, for its graphics, for its, kind of realism, how the interplay of technology and crew is simulated, your interaction with the crew to control this piece of equipment, the submarine being pretty high-end equipment back then, with a hybrid drive, diesel and electric, with these torpedoes diving away, hiding away. Yeah, this is something that's fascinated me since I was a kid and since I first watched the famous movie. And yeah, here we are in the year 1943. It's early November, which means that we are more than 4 years into the war. And we are in the middle of a long-term campaign, so I'm doing a complete playthrough, which means that I started at the very beginning of the war in September 39 and went through every event, mission by mission, sharing with you, my dear friends, on Twitch all the missions from the very beginning in the North Sea, in the closer parts of the Atlantic, going to the mid and the far Atlantic, missions across the pond, back to the cold waters of Arctic convoys mission set, and finally daring the passage through the Strait of Gibraltar, bringing me into the Mediterranean, where I am at the moment doing the Battle of the Mediterranean mission set. And you see, we are at roughly 80,000 tons, which brings us relatively close to the next boat upgrade. So, as I said, I'm happy to share all my adventures with you, my dear Twitch watchers, but since a while I'm also uploading the whole stream towards YouTube, and sorry guys, I really don't have the time to do cutting, so I just upload the bare adventures, the whole stream, but still I think it's hopefully interesting for those who love the game as much as I do. You can kind of browse through the stream, find the interesting parts, and have a little look at it. So welcome YouTube just as well. Glad to have all of you guys in. And we are here south of, or let's say a bit southwest of Greece, actually. And at the end of the last stream a few days ago, we had this contact here. We have some contacts here as well, but they are pretty sure they are whales. And although I would have loved to do a little bit of whale watching with you, now our priority is to go after that guy. And I'm pretty sure that this guy is a merchantman.
Herr Kapitän?
So let's give it a little estimation. Yeah, Mr. Schulz is officer of the watch. He's our bosun, so he doesn't know anything about technology. That means that Mr. Grade, I know it's your off watch, but we need you anyway. You get the support of 2 crew hands and get us just everything out of the engines that we can get. So the next hour will bring us at least 16 miles ahead of our recent position. And this guy, we don't know its course yet. But assuming that it's a standard merchantman, they should go with something like 8 knots, which means that after an hour they should be somewhere on this circle. So now we are going for 1 hour and then doing another hydrophone check, giving us a second data point by which we would extrapolate their course and interpolate their position. Now, we didn't see any action yet on this patrol, which means that we still have a full set of torpedoes fore and aft. Discipline is pretty high. We did a shore leave just before this patrol. Batteries are fully charged. What about the bilge? We have a bit of water in the bilge, so well, turning on the pump for a little while wouldn't do us any harm. And what about food? Food is perfectly fine, and as the crew is pretty happy after the last shore leave, I just give them 1 type of different food, which saves a bit of food. Stern torpedoes. That's the situation. Yeah, there we cut through the waves. We have a bit of a swell, but not too much. And with 8 miles, 8 knots, well, 8 miles per hour, the wind speed is pretty moderate. Let's send this spotting report. Gives us a little bit of money, although budget is not an issue. And there you can get back to your bunk, Mr. Hinrich. Thank you very much. And let's do some acceleration. There we go. It's 9:30, so let's go till 10:30, roughly. $10, change of watch. We are moving pretty fast. So here we are. Yeah, pretty nice weather. Let's do the next hydrophone check. Which means that the crew off-watch crew running a 4, giving additional ballast for diving. One of the officers opening the valves for the ballast tanks. 2 crewmates have manned the depth steers, and now sea water is rushing into the ballast tanks to drag the boat down quickly, supported by the depth steers, the dive planes, and the crew in the fore compartment. There we go. Yeah, if I order hydrophone check, then the crew knows what to do. And yeah, everybody knows what to do. The crew brings the boat down to 50 meters and stays there for 5 minutes for a silent listening with the hydrophone.
Ich benötige etwas Unterstützung.
And down there, away from all the noise, from the waves, from the wind,
Geräusch. Heilung 5.
the hydrophone develops an enormous detection range. So within this circle, we would detect just any moving propeller. And yeah, right away, we have a contact.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
50 Meter.
If you ask me, that doesn't look good. That looks a bit like that we have a very slow mover there. Maybe this is just a fisherman. Well, but let's check it out. Let's finish the hydrophone check and then see that we get closer. And get maybe a third data point. But at the moment, that doesn't look good. The guy is moving so slow that most probably it's just a fisherman, which we wouldn't sink. Yeah, 10:30, still early.
Es ist schon witzig. Als ich der Marine beigetreten bin, dachte ich würde die meiste Zeit auf dem Deck eines großen Schlachtschiffs verbringen. Aber hier bin ich, zusammengedrängt in einem winzigen U-Boot mit euch Jungs.
Okay, let's do a bit of time acceleration and then carry on.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet. Herr Kaloin?
Anblasen.
50 Meter.
Back to the surface.
Aktuelle Tiefe 30 Meter.
By blowing the tanks, pushing the water out of the ballast tanks with our compressed air.
10 Meter.
And after each dive, we have to turn on our compressors to refill our compressed air. Now,
Auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
us going for another 16 miles, and him, yeah, going for 6 or something. So let's do it roughly like that.
Koordinaten setzen.
There we go. One more hour. And the next hydrophone check.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Ballast tank filling 4 and abaft.
120 Meter.
There we are. There we are.
Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
Hey, Aquicing. Nice to have you in. How are you doing?
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 335 Grad.
50 Meter.
Yeah, I'm fine. I am pretty relaxed because in Germany we had a public holiday today, and tomorrow most people also don't work. So I will have to do a little bit of work tomorrow, maybe for 1 or 2 hours, but yeah, actually it's a day off, so I'm gonna sleep long, which means I can stream late. Hey, Uncle Bot. Yep, nice to have you in. Hope you're fine. Hope you're fine.
Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
Yeah, here in Germany, today it's a Christian public holiday. It's I think it's called Ascension Day. So what is it about? Is it about Monday? What kind of public holiday? Is it just a bank holiday or something?
Meter. Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
Well, look at that. Look at how slow they are going. From here.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
Yeah. That's a pity. Pretty sure that this guy is only a fisherman. Yeah, actually, whatever holidays it is, a day off is always welcome. Yeah, around here it got pretty cold again. We had last week, or say a week ago, we had a few very warm days. It was already feeling like summer. Ah, okay, you had a day off today as well, yeah. Yeah, like you said, you have a bit of an irregular work schedule.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
Yeah, same here, same here. It was like the last 4 days or something, it became very cold again. But I mean, I think when I say cold, it's, yeah, compared to your typical temperatures at that season, maybe not that cold. I couldn't even say what temperature we had the last days. Just didn't check, but it just felt so ugly, and we have a lot of rain. But that's not too bad because Yeah, the last 2 months were very dry, so for nature I think it's perfectly fine that we get some rain, and for the farmers.
Meter.
5 Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Yeah, good thing about this week was that it was relatively quiet on the streets. So the last weeks it was terribly crowded on the road, and yeah, and so I get the feeling that this week a lot of people actually took the whole week off, with the public holiday today and many companies having closed down tomorrow just as well. You could really recognize that on the road. Much less traffic. No. Yeah, let's see that we get close to the guys and finally confirm what type of ship it is. By the way, let's give it a save. W427. New stream, new save, and let's accelerate. 1 hour. 12 o'clock. And here we are. Do we already have eyes on the target? How far is it away now? Yeah, well, from that reckoning it should still be 10 miles away, so probably no chance. Particularly if it's really a fisherman, we wouldn't spot it from afar. So guys, give me one more hydrophone check.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren.
And diving.
Meter.
Herr Kaloi,
So, Mr. Strauss, please.
Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
Give us the hydrophone contact. Here we see Mr. Schneider. He's constantly working on the maintenance of the torpedoes,
50 Meter.
which makes sure that we don't get dots.
Schraubengeräusch. Teilung 345 Grad.
They're really moving in on weird courses.
Meter.
Kurs setzen.
Meter.
Pretty unpredictable.
Meter.
Yeah, how do I like the Mediterranean? It's very few convoys, so I am on my, I don't know, 4th or 5th patrol run, and I only ran into one single escorted convoy. A lot of single merchantmen, a lot of fishermen. Well, so it is pretty relaxing in comparison to the Arctic convoys, where you ran into enormously large convoys with pretty tough escorts, and it was pretty hard to find them. You often cruised for days or a week until you even found a target. Hey, Holiday Punch. Nice to have you in. Good evening. Yeah, still stop the Allies from landing in Sicily. Yeah. Yeah, actually the Italians already did dip out of the war, so we had that situation that the Germans actually overran the country because the Italian government didn't want to fight anymore. So now Italy is German occupied. They did, yeah. I think 1 or 2 months ago it was. Does anybody know what how would you call it? Well, actually, what was the story of Mussolini afterwards? I really don't know what happened to him. Let's accelerate time.
Anblasen.
30 Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 10 Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe Mussolini also went to this hidden Nazi base on the dark side of the moon and is still hiding there. Okay, he was executed finally in 1945. I wasn't aware of that.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Yeah, but no. Could be much further away than 2 miles. Okay. Nothing to be seen. Yeah, most probably just a small fishing boat. Ship spotted. Where? I don't see any ship, guys.
Funkraum besetzen.
Funktelegramm gesendet.
Okay. Ships are escaping you by going underwater instead. Maybe another German submarine helped them to get underwater. But yeah, it's a fishing boat and it's just so small probably that I just don't get eyes on them.
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
Yeah, go for periscope depth. Let's steal their fish exactly. Ah, yeah, well, let's stay friends with the fishermen.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
reacquire them for the Reich. Yeah, something like that. Could have been the attitude back then.
Herr Kaloin, wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe. Boot für Rundflug eingesteuert.
Confiscate.
Motoren wechseln.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin? Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 0 Grad.
Yeah, come on, just dead ahead. Just dead ahead.
Anblasen. 5 Meter.
Yeah, alternating history. I'm not a friend of that in principle because I'm very happy with how history actually went. And I'm pretty glad that the Allies took all that effort to rid us of this madman back then. But yeah, we discussed that before in the stream, and I like that idea that, yeah, you would not be able to change the war in the way that the Germans finally win or something, but maybe prolong the war a bit. Something like that. Something like to give you the opportunity of a longer gameplay, and well, if you could do well, prolong it, and if you do not so well, yeah, just kind of shorten the campaign a bit. Yeah, you're 100% right. That's true, how you say it. The war was already lost when it first started. Yep. Hey, come on. Somewhere dead ahead, there must be a fisherman.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
Where is the guy? Where is the guy? Come on, give me one more
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
hydrophone check. Haha, good morning. Good morning, Jim. Nice to have you. Yeah, we are looking for fish, yeah. Yeah, at the moment we are a bit, without loot. Without targets to hunt down. The ship that we are chasing at the moment is most probably a fisherman.
Herr Kaloin, wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe. Boot für Rundblick eingesteuert.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Well, so what I'm doing at the moment is this one here, the Battle of the Mediterranean, which is just a patrol, standard kind of a series of patrol missions, and then there is here Mediterranean operations. Okay, this is probably some infiltrating stuff. Then this one is, I think, retrieving some treasure, diving, and here's something, passage through the Strait of Gibraltar to get back to the other side. Well, I did it. Yes. But sooner or later we have to get out of the Mediterranean again. Yeah, it is, it is. But the east front is already collapsing, I think. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I should check that. I could look it up somehow, find out when it was that my grandpa was injured on the Eastern Front in Russia. Maybe it was something around, I think, yeah, maybe it was something like a year before the end of the war. It was in this, maybe anybody knows, it was in this very hard winter. So when the Germans attacked during the winter, it was such a very, very hard winter, so that even that was a problem, and a lot of people died because of the cold. And that was the winter when my grandpa stepped on that mine. Still ahead of us. What was that? What kind of sound? Come on, I don't hear anything.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet. Jawohl.
Okay, which one? Holiday Punch? Which game are you playing? Let's get Hearts of Iron. Okay, yes. I think it's pretty good. I actually, quite a while ago, I was seriously thinking about diving into it a bit.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Okay, Cold War, yeah.
Kurs setzen.
Yeah, okay, so after the Second World War, finally the Germans turned into the good guys, right? I don't know, maybe there is no fisherman, maybe we are just chasing a ghost or a whale or something. Let's give it one more check with the hydrophone. That was pretty short ads actually. Yeah, chasing a ghost convoy, obviously. I was expecting to find a fisherman, but we don't even see a fisherman.
Herr Kaloin? Herr Kaloin, wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe. Boot für Rundblick eingesteuert.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
So, Mr. Strauss at the hydrophone. Do you hear something? Yeah, I think that the fishermen, that they kind of had some kind of immunity or neutrality, that you were not allowed to sink fishermen, and from some kind of an code of honor, people would actually not attack fishermen. This is what I understand, but still. Hey guys, no contact anymore at all now. Hey. Yeah, looks like
Ja?
we're having no contact at all at the moment.
Kleine Fahrt voraus. Alle Maschinen stopp.
Just listening. Okay, guys, let's get back to the surface
Fahrt voraus. Ansagen.
and just continue.
10 Meter.
Pretty much looks like we were going after a ghost contact.
Kurs setzen.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloin, wir sind aufgetaucht. Ich könnte etwas Hilfe brauchen.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr
Interesting that we can't go flank speed at the moment. I mean, time compression of factor 1800. What's the matter? How beautiful that is, isn't it?
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Don't quite see why we don't get full speed acceleration available.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloin.
Funkraum besetzen.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen. Jawohl, ich kümmere mich.
Herr Kaloin?
Okay, wind is freshening up a bit. 11 knots. And let's do another hydrophone check.
Auf 50 Meter.
Yeah, it's evening now. 6 o'clock, 6:15.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln.
25 Meter. Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 160 Grad.
Could still be that mysterious ghost contact.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
That's just this guy. Let's ignore him.
Meter. 85 Meter.
Let's do the hydrophone check for 5 minutes, get back to the surface and then get moving again.
Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
Anblasen.
30 Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloy, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Past 6, let's go until 20 past 7. Here we are, 1 hour and one more hydrophone check.
Herr Kaloy, 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Meter. Meter.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 160 Grad. 50 Meter.
Yeah, okay. Pretty slow, the guy.
Herr Kaloy?
It's them, probably.
Meter.
Anblasen.
35 Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren.
Herr Kaloy, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Yes, we are. Is this a bug? Never had that before, that for no reason I just couldn't go to flank, to maximum time acceleration. And change of watch at 10 o'clock.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Hey, weight loss. Good evening. How are you doing?
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
I hope you had a good day off today. Yeah, I have a weird situation. It might be a bug because I just can't go beyond time compression 140 factor. I can't get into the higher time compression factors, but there is no shallow sea, there is no shores close, there is no enemies close, no ships, no planes, so it actually does feel a bit like a bug that I just can't accelerate further at the moment. But, well, however, let's do another routine hydrophone check. I'm thinking all the time if I forgot something, if I have some machine turned on or some whatever done wrong. But I think it's just not my fault. Just maybe a bug. Allowing me not to go to maximum time acceleration.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
I think this is something that I never had before.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. 25 Meter.
Meter.
There we are. And fingers crossed that we get some decent contact.
Meter.
Meter.
3 minutes. 4 minutes.
Anblasen.
And there we get back to the surface and no contact.
Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
25 Meter. 5 Meter. Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
So do I have any information on the radio which I missed and which might be the reason why I can't go maximum time acceleration?
Jawohl.
Nothing. Really? Nothing. And on we go, pacing through the night. Oh, come on, that's a bit ugly now that I can't step to the next time acceleration level.
Navigation besetzen.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
I really don't like that. Don't like this reduced time acceleration. It feels more and more a bit like a pain in the ass, actually.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Here we are. Wind speed is 12 knots.
Kurs setzen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloi.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Guys, what are you doing? You have a clear course.
Kurs auf diese
That
Koordinaten
direction.
setzen.
That was a bit weird. So, let's do the next hydrophone check.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter. Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Meter.
45 Meter.
Now, silent listening. What's the range at the moment? 88 miles. Yep. Decent range. So within this radius, we should detect just any moving propeller.
Meter.
Mr. Strauss, please. Give me any contact.
Meter.
Meter.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
No contacts. Maybe I should discuss this with my AI.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 325 Grad.
All right. a single one again. So let's keep fingers crossed that this guy is a merchantman. Let's finish the hydrophone check finally.
Herr Kaloin?
Anblasen.
30 Meter.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. 10 Meter.
Now, assuming that this
Auf diese
is
Motoren wechseln.
just an ordinary merchantman, they would go with something like 8 knots, which means in 1 hour they should be somewhere on this circle. And where are we in 1 hour? Yeah, say something like 16 miles. So let's go flank, let's go after them. It was 10 past 11. Yeah, we are half through in terms of tonnage for this mission, for this patrol. What did I say? 10 past. So there we are, and give it another hydrophone check
Auf 50 Meter.
so that we get a second data point. Alright, ChatGPT, if you were so kind and name this stream, this chat here, U-boat.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 355 Grad.
25 Meter. Meter.
Alright, we are getting back to the surface. We are getting down to 50 meters. And finally checking.
Herr Kapitän?
Oh god, it's one of these slow movers again. So, in 1 hour this guy just moved like that. So it's another... it's another fisherman. So I think it's really not worth the time to follow these guys. They're so slow. 100% sure that this is a fisherman. So ChatGPT, I'm playing U-boat at the moment, and please give me a little deep research on the question or on the issue that I have right now. I just can't get to the second maximum and the maximum time acceleration. Although I'm not close to the shore, I don't have shallow waters, I don't have any enemy around. Could you please research if there is any reports of that being a bug or what the reason could be for that? So let's see what ChatGPT is gonna give us for that question. Yeah, just a slow mover, very slow mover. Fisherman, 100%. Okay, he tells me to first check whether alarm or silent running is still active. It's not. No issues here. Okay, so the hints of ChatGPT were nothing new, to be honest, but what we could actually try is
Alarm!
start
Aufgefechtsstation!
an alarm,
Gefechtsstation! Anlauf beginnt! Schleichfahrt.
enable silent running, and do everything like, yeah, we were doing silent running, turning off the electric servo support of the depth steers and the gyro. Yeah. And turn everything on again, actually. So, step away from battle station and silent running. Go to electric, dive planes again, and turn on the gyro compass. Ah, wow. So it says that there is another contact. So let's go for that one and hope that maybe this is a real merchantman.
40 Meter. 20 Meter.
Again, if it were, they should be doing something like 6 miles per hour.
Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
And when we are gonna chase them after 1 hour, we should be roughly there. It's 20 past 12. So let's go flank speed for 1 hour. Yeah, the suspicion of ChatGPT was that it was maybe due to my installed mods. Although I'm pretty conservative, I only have the Deep Leaks mod installed. And this whale mod. But maybe next time I'm gonna turn off the whale mod. What was it? 20 past? Yeah, I think it was 20 past 1. Here we are. And do the next hydrophone check.
Auf 50 Meter. Lenzpumpe einschalten.
Yeah, turn it on, please, just briefly to get the water out.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln. Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
Meter.
Herr Kaloin?
Now, guys, fingers crossed that this is not just another fisherman.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
Contact. Okay, that's this one, which is definitely just another fisherman. I called that contact 008 and just going 5 miles per hour. No merchantman, 100% fisherman. And now hope that we get eyes on, that we get ears on that other contact as well.
Aktuelle Tiefe 55 Meter.
Mr. Strauss? Okay. We have one officer whose name is Mr. Strauss, and we have one crewmate who is Mr. Strauss as well.
50 Meter.
Come on, please. Give me that contact again.
Jawohl.
Aktuelle Tiefe 55 Meter.
Yes, 55 meters.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloin.
Okay, I didn't pick up. Oh, I used my explosives. Yeah, okay. I have to remember to refill it in the cabinet when I am next back in my home port.
Schraubengeräusch. So 300 Grad.
It's just the same guy. We don't get any signal from these guys anymore.
Anblasen.
40 Meter.
Aktuelle Tiefe 15
Auf
Meter.
diese Motoren wechseln.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 355 Grad. Herr Kaloin, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Oh shit, we didn't get that. 355 dead ahead, so the guy is still there. Let's carry on.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
So after 2 hours they could be somewhere there. 300. Hey, come on, how buggy is this? Okay, come on. Okay, now I am really experiencing a few bugs, which is very unusual. And this is kind of new. Okay.
Kurs setzen.
Let's go like that for 1 hour. Should bring us roughly there. Half past 1, so let's go until 2:30. Having a change of watch on the way.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloin.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
So it's 2:30 in the afternoon. Any smoke column on the horizon? Doing a quick scan. No. Then give me another hydrophone check. I'm gonna be AFK just for 1 minute and get me a bottle of beer. So be back in 60 seconds.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln.
Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
No, any contacts?
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Meter.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 350 Grad. 5 gewartet.
Okay, good. That's these guys. Now I get some position feedback. But I think I don't quite like what I see there.
Meter.
Considering that they have been moving now for 2 hours. They are moving slow.
55 Meter.
They are really moving slow. Probably just another fisherman.
Herr Kaloin?
So up to now, only fishermen and ghost contacts. Maybe schools of whales. More contact. Okay, that's the other one where I am already sure that this is only a fisherman. So he went there. In 2 hours. Was it 2? No, 1 hour. Yeah.
Herr Kaloin?
Anblasen. Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 25 Meter.
Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloy, wir sind aufgetaucht. Jawohl, Herr Kaloy.
So, cheers, guys.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
So, if we go for 1 more hour, we would end up there. And these guys going for 1 more hour. Would end up somewhere there. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Quarter to 3. And here we are, quarter to 4.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
And giving it 1 more hydrophone check.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 320 Grad.
50 Meter.
Why, yes. They are so slow. No point in following them any further. But let's hear if we see. Let's see if we hear something else than this contact.
55 Meter.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle. Meter.
Meter.
Okay, so at the moment we are not very lucky. But I think it might be a good idea to extend our patrol a bit to the east. I think this is what I'm going to do next.
Peilung 220 Grad.
Yeah, that's them. That's still them.
Anblasen.
Back to the surface, and now let's go
Kurs setzen.
like that.
Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter. Kurs setzen. Prellbefahrt.
And going back to
voraus.
cruise speed.
Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf diese Motoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Yeah, the Mediterranean is relatively quiet. The missions are definitely easier than the Arctic convoy missions. Yeah, maybe history-wise you would do them in the other order. First do the Mediterranean mission, history-wise, and then do the Northern Convoy missions. Might be. Up to now, I think we didn't run into a single air patrol since we are in the Mediterranean. And we mostly ran into single merchantmen and in only one single escorted convoy. But yeah, the fishermen are a bit of a pain in the ass. So you run into a lot of contacts and they finally turn out to be just fishermen. That's not good. That's really not good that I can only go for this level 3 time acceleration. I definitely have to find out what that is. Maybe I'm gonna throw out the whales mod again, if this is the reason. Sounds weird. It shouldn't have any influence, but at the moment that's a bit of a pain in the ass that I can't accelerate faster than a factor of 140.
Navigation besetzen.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Okay, what did we get there? Radio transmission.
Funkraum besetzen.
Maybe there is something about this radio transmission.
Hilfe gebrauchen.
No, but they don't have any option to decipher that radio transmission.
Navigation besetzen.
Yeah, we need a bit of patience, a bit more patience now, but yeah, I'm gonna try to fix that offline. Hey, Norman. Nice to have you in. Good evening. Or is it good morning for you? Sorry, but I don't quite recall where you're from. It's always like the AU. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I had that in mind. Something like that. Yeah, nice to have you in. We have one other Australian guy in, which is Aus Jim. Okay, yes. People suspect that you're from Austria. Yep. That's good. Yep. Lots of time shift between Germany and Austria, exactly, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if Jim is still in the stream, but yeah. However, I'm so glad to have you guys in from down under, because the timing is really bad. I mean, I do these late night streams, and so you must be pretty lucky if you have the opportunity to watch my streams. I mean, that might sound a little bit egocentric, right? If I say, hey, you are very lucky to watch my stream, but this is not quite what I wanted to express. I mean, timing-wise, it's a bit of a challenge. An Austrian watching, yep. Yeah, so where are you at the moment in the game? Which year? Or which missions are you playing?
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Just want to get a little bit more mileage within the patrol area so that we finally finish it before we go further to the east. Okay, yep. 40. Yeah, end of the year 40, things are starting to get more tough, yep. And so I guess you are in the Eastern Atlantic then? Have you already transferred to La Rochelle? I guess you have, haven't you? Doing the missions around here. Would it be Happy Time or something?
Kurs setzen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloy.
Okay, there we are.
Ein weiterer Tag, eine
We have completed the mission.
weiter so alles.
Like that, let's report that back home. But I don't want to return back home without having reached the 7,000 tons limit.
Funktelegramm gesendet.
Yeah, the only thing that I really started and didn't finish was the Norwegian campaign. I just don't like the Norwegian campaign. The missions are a bit of a pain, I would say. I mean, my impression actually.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Bestätige.
Too big, yeah. Ah, you're playing with the new boat. Yep. With the U-boat, with the new boat. With the 9, type 9, yep. Yeah, these escort missions, they're terrible, aren't they? You need so much patience and then, well... Yeah, by the way, what I did today, yeah, we had a day off here today, and I spent some nice time with the family, but I also spent some time at the computer, and what I did was I reinstalled my Stalker Gamma game. So I did install Stalker Gamma something like 3 years ago, and now I saw that there were some nice updates all the time, and I wasn't sure whether just updating works, so in a different folder I completely reinstalled all that Stalker stuff, yep. Which is bit of an effort to actually get all the data. I mean, it was Stalker Gamma actually that I'm talking about. Stalker Gamma. And that's that's a bit of an effort, and yeah. So I'm curious, maybe tomorrow morning. Yeah, well, I mean, today is a public holiday, and tomorrow or Friday, it's a day off, and so probably tomorrow I'm gonna try to dive into Stalker Gamma again. I really love that game. It's great, this open world feeling. Maybe it's the game with the best open world feeling ever, I would say. And yeah, I was even thinking about streaming it, but I think it's not quite streaming compatible in the way that we like streaming here in the chat. Yeah, Colin, that's what I thought, and I think that was also what Norman meant with the remark, right? The Type 9, they didn't. Wouldn't make sense, right? To put them into the Mediterranean. Hey, Volvolu, good evening, nice to have you in. How are you doing? So, greetings to North Africa, to Tunisia. Yeah, at the moment we are not so close to your home country and your hometown, but yeah, relatively close, to put it like that. Yeah, I'm fine. Like I just mentioned, in Germany we have a public holiday today, and most companies actually have also closed down tomorrow, on Friday just as well. And as for me, I'm gonna have to do 1 or 2 hours of home office tomorrow, but yeah, so I can stream a bit longer maybe tonight, because I can sleep a bit longer tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm pretty relaxed. The week was short. It was only Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and yeah. Considering the situation on the roads, it looked like that most of the people around Frankfurt actually did take the whole week off, because it was very relaxed compared to the last 2 months. Not much traffic jam. There is a typo there, right? What do you mean with type T? I didn't know that there was any bug. You mean type 7, I think, right? I think I heard something like that. It rings a bell that somebody mentioned that it might be a problem to switch from type 7 to type 9. Yeah, right. That's right. Operation Drumbeat. That would have been Paukenschlag. Operation Paukenschlag. That would have been a good operation for the Type 9. Yep. Yeah. But as for me, I'm so late in the war already. 43. I don't know if it still would make sense to switch to the Type 9 and go for the Asia missions, Indian Ocean missions. I think somebody in the stream mentioned, or was it in the patch notes, that they fixed that.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen. Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum.
Yeah, come on, let's do another hydrophone check.
Auf 50 Meter. Auf E-Motoren wechseln. Anblasen.
Ah, shit.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
That was not very smart.
Gehe etwas Unterstützung.
Doing that in time acceleration. So, come on.
Tauchen auf.
We might have missed something. So let's do it in slow-mo again.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Yep. There, the South Atlantic mission. Yeah, that would be also nice. So. I was actually considering that because when I have finished this one here, when I've done the 100,000 tons, I should. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I should get the next blueprint. And well, I'm still indecisive what my plan is, but I hope that at least I will have the opportunity, if I would like to switch to the Type 9 with that blueprint. So, did we get a contact? Single ship again. So we had loads of contacts on this patrol, but most of them turned out to be just fishermen. Let's hope that this guy is different. Let's hope that this guy is actually different.
50 Meter.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning right now.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen. Wird erledigt, Herr Kanol.
Anblasen.
Aktuelle Tiefe 40 Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Mr. Grad, sorry, it's your off watch, but we need you to go flag speed. Now let's be optimistic again and say that this might be a merchantman. Then after 1 hour, they should be somewhere on that circle if it's a standard merchantman. And we, what about us? We would be here after 1 hour. So let's start the chase. Their speed actually tells whether it's a fisherman or not.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Next hydrophone check.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter. Auf E-Motoren wechseln. Meter.
Ja,
Aktuelle Tiefe
Now, any contacts?
40 Meter.
Let's hope that this next data point, which we get, confirms that this might be a merchantman and is not just
50
a
Meter.
fisherman.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 355 Grad.
There they are. Oh shit. Again. Oh. Just a fisherman. It's again just a fisherman. That's how it looks like. But let's stay
Aktuelle Tiefe
submerged
50 Meter.
for the full 5 minutes and see if we pick up some other contact.
Anblasen. 30 Meter.
That's it.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Okay, alright.
Wir sind aufgetaucht.
So today we were not very lucky. All the contacts that we got were either ghost contacts, maybe whales, or fishermen. So looking at the time, it's 20 minutes to 3 o'clock around here, although I can sleep a bit longer tomorrow. I am gonna turn in right now. So it was a pleasure to have you. I was just checking if it would be worthwhile to raid somebody, but I don't know. There is. I don't know. What would you think about raiding somebody playing DayZ? I'm not quite sure. I think you guys watching U-Boat, you're not that much of a fan of DayZ, are you? Yes, yeah, you're right. And that's what I was thinking, was that maybe in kind of the historical context, you should first do the Mediterranean and then do the Arctic convoy mission, maybe. Yeah, Vulvulu, it was a pleasure to have you in. And looking forward to see you tomorrow. Definitely, I'm gonna stream tomorrow. So, guys, have a good night. Colin, see you. Aqua Icing, Norman, and yeah, just great. And who else was in? Holiday Punch, if you're still there. It was great to have you. Have a good night. And Jim, same for you. Well, I wouldn't wish you a good night. I would wish you a good day. And hopefully see you in the next stream. So, Uncle Bot, I don't know if you're still lurking. If you are, all the best wishes to you just as well. And I remember that weight loss was also briefly, at least briefly, dropping into the stream. So all of you guys have a good night. And see you tomorrow. Bye bye.